The wind howled through the skeletal trees of Blackwood Pines, carrying with it a bone-chilling whisper that made the hairs on the back of Jake's neck stand on end. He tightened his grip on his rifle, the cold metal biting into his gloved hands. Beside him, his brother Marcus scanned the dense forest with narrowed eyes, his breath visible in the frosty air. "We shouldn't have come here," muttered Sarah, the youngest of the group, her voice trembling. "This place, it feels wrong." Jake ignored her, focusing on the task at hand. They were here to hunt, not to let their imaginations run wild. But even he couldn't shake the unease that had settled over them like a suffocating fog. The forest was too quiet, the usual sounds of wildlife absent, as if the animals themselves had fled in terror. As they ventured deeper, the trees grew thicker, their gnarled branches twisting together to form a canopy that blocked out the moonlight. The only light came from their headlamps, casting long, flickering shadows that seemed to move on their own. It started with a sound, a low, guttural growl that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. The hunters froze, their hearts pounding in their chests. "Did you hear that?" Marcus whispered, his voice barely audible. Before anyone could respond, a blood-curdling scream echoed through the forest, so loud and piercing that it felt like it was coming from inside their heads. Sarah dropped her flashlight, the beam of light spinning wildly before settling on the ground. "Stay together," Jake barked, his voice firm despite the fear gnawing at his gut. But it was too late. The forest seemed to come alive around them, the shadows twisting and shifting, forming grotesque shapes that lunged at them from the darkness. Sarah screamed as something grabbed her ankle, yanking her off her feet and dragging her into the underbrush. "Sarah!" Marcus shouted, rushing after her, but Jake grabbed his arm, holding him back. "Don't! We need to stick together." But Marcus wasn't listening. He tore free from Jake's grip and plunged into the darkness after his sister. Jake hesitated for a moment, then followed, his heart racing as he stumbled through the dense foliage. They found Sarah moments later, her body twisted and broken, her eyes wide with terror. But it wasn't her death that made Jake's blood run cold. It was the symbols carved into her flesh, ancient runes that seemed to pulse with a dark, malevolent energy. "The Wendigo," Marcus whispered, his voice filled with dread. "It's here." As if on cue, the forest erupted in a cacophony of screams and howls, the sound so deafening that it felt like their eardrums would burst. The shadows closed in around them, and Jake realized with a sinking feeling that they were never going to make it out alive. The Wendigo's call was too strong, its hunger too great, and as the blood moon reached its zenith, the hunters became the hunted, their screams. Thank you to watch full video. Please like, share, and subscribe my channel Hunt Map USA.